What's up, everyone? Thank you for listening to another episode of the Sawyer Brothers Show. Please be sure to follow and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and then follow our podcast accounts and SDI accounts on all socials. We post daily on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. We appreciate the support and listens greatly. Today's episode is sponsored by the Hockey Marker. The Hockey Marker is a marker that's designed specifically for ice surfaces. Its specially formulated ink works on ice and provides strong visibility during practices and camps. It provides bold and clear lines, making drills, skills training, and games easier to follow. Once the session is done, the lines are erased by the Zamboni's regular resurfacing. As a coach, I run a lot of small area games at different areas on the ice, and the Hockey Marker allows me to tighten up the space with actual lines that players can see. Listeners can use the promo code Sawyer to receive a 15% discount on their website. All right, with the high school season officially underway, we sat down with Ethan Gilbert. Ethan is a senior captain for Trenton High School. We've known Ethan for many years. He played for Griff's 2007 Trenton Junior Trojans team as a Pee-wee and a Bantam, and he's participated in SDI every year since then too. His development over the years has been great to see. He's a solid player, but he's an even better young man. His selfless attitude and maturity are very impressive. He will be a great leader for Trenton this year. We hope you enjoy. All right, Ethan Gilbert, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. You're starting your senior season. It's when we record this, it's Tuesday, November 4th. How's the first week been?
It's been good. A lot of hard work. A lot of just getting little details going and all that.
You guys had 3 days of tryouts and then a couple practices so far?
Yep.
Tell us about the Saturday. You were just talking. You said Saturday you guys had a practice.
Usually we have games on Saturday, but beginning of the season we don't have anything scheduled. We're just working on stuff. Power play. It was mostly special teams that whole practice.
Perfect. Nice. So you're obviously starting your senior year here. We'll go through a mix of things, kind of touching on your stuff. Trenton High School hockey, Michigan High School hockey, all that. So, my first question is, you obviously got you were named captain earlier this week. I think I saw the official post today.
Yep.
You texted me and Griff about that Friday. What does that feel like so far after this? When hearing your name and being told that you're captain, what's that feeling like?
It feels great. It's just like, it feels like all the guys on the team, they're voting for you, they're rooting for you. When something goes bad, they're looking at you in a situation, and it just really feels good.
There's a lot of pressure with it too, so it's a lot of pressure, but it's worth it. I mean, there's only a few captains every year, especially for a program like Trenton. So when you get named captain, it's like, hey, pressure's on, but also like you got voted for a reason. Like you're the one in charge here to help lead that locker room, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think the roles are of a captain for high school hockey? Do you think there's anything? Are you the one that fills up bottles, drives guys around? Like, what is your role when it comes to being captain?
I mean, I think we all are driving each other around. Like, everybody's going to need help, but you want to be the guy that someone can come up to you completely unrelated to hockey and have a conversation that you can help them out with.
I think that's huge. I think that's one of the biggest things with this age group. When you're a guy in high school, you're going through so many different things. Your teammates are going through so many different things. I mean, when I played, when Griff played, like there's guys of all different ages, obviously, and you're looking out for some of those younger guys and kind of leading the way. So many years ago, I was the captain. Griff was a young guy in the team too with his class. So we've both been there personally as well.
Yeah, the next few weeks will just be, I think it'll just be a feeling out process, seeing what role every leader takes, because there's 100 different ways to be a leader. You can be the guy that talks. You can be the guy that leads by example. You can be the guy that's kind of a little bit more bad cop. You can be the guy that's, kind of like the guy that brings everyone together. You have the funny captain. So, for the first few weeks, it'll just be really fun for you to see what your role will be. So
yeah, and I think the biggest thing is just being yourself as a leader, not trying to be anybody else.
100%.
That's huge. Totally agree. So, but we'll touch on some things with the team as we go here too. But obviously, starting your senior year, you played for the team last year. You guys had a solid team last year. I think this year's team, the roster's right there to accomplish whatever you want. From my opinion, I feel like for the last 4 years, this year has kind of been one of them that's been circled. Your class is super strong. So what are your expectations for the team this season?
I think our biggest thing is just going to be getting team chemistry. Like, we can't go anywhere without knowing each other, have each other's backs and all of that. And honestly, the main goal is winning a state championship, but we got to accomplish the little goals first.
Absolutely. What about on an individual level? Do you have any specific goals for yourself or expectations?
Just be the guy that people can come to, be a good leader, and just stuff like that, little things.
I agree. Griff, so when if you reflect on Ethan growing up, you were obviously a coach for him, Pee-wee?
PWA, PBAA, and Bantam A.
Yeah, 3 years. How do you think Ethan's game has grown since that first time you saw him on the ice? Do you have anything that totally sticks out for you?
Yeah, I mean, the confidence level on the ice, Ethan always had the confidence off the ice too, even though he didn't have the loudest voice in the room to start that first year. But on the ice, Ethan was, when I took over, we didn't really know if he was going to be a forward or a D. I feel like we flip-flopped all the time. At that age, Pee-wee is when everyone starts kind of growing into their body. And Ethan started getting a little taller and a little stronger on his feet. But he was always, I never really had to worry about him. But now, seeing him to where he is now, you're going to be expected to be the best defenseman on the ice, the most shutdown guy, the most reliable guy, where literally in any situation, the coach can say, hey, go out there and just take care of it. Or if a coach is flustered, they just throw you out. And I had that for you as the 3 years went on, especially. That second and third, the first year the team success, we had certain situations, so didn't really matter. Everyone was throwing in everything. But that second and third year, I mean, by the start of that third season, I feel like we had that tournament here, and you really came into your game, and I was like, wow, this guy, he's like a real deal hockey player now. And honestly, that was when you were in 7th grade. So I mean, 4.5, 5 years later, now look at you. It's that, but times 10, So it's been really nice to see you grow as that player who was kind of finding his game to now I feel like you really know what you can bring and what to expect, and you make the job of your teammates and your coaches pretty easy. So it's been pretty nice to see.
How do you think you've grown since that time? I mean, that was 5-6 years ago. How do you think you've grown?
Yeah, for sure. I think I was definitely just a shy guy in the locker room, not really talking, but knew what I had to do, and I still know what I have to do, but I've definitely found my voice a lot more than where I was there.
I think one of the big things for you too is your skating with your the smoothness of your skating. At the time, I can still see you just a little choppy strides almost. And everyone has that at a certain point because we're just growing into our bodies. But watching you skate now, you have a much longer stride and all of that. So
yeah, you're a beast out there. When we like you said, when everyone's in middle school, they're still trying to, like we said, learn their stride, get their strength. But now, when I saw you play in our elite league, I was like. He's going to be a senior? I was like, he looks like a third-year junior guy with that stride and everything. So you have that advantage. You're using your size to your advantage, and it's expecting big things from you this year, so I'm excited.
What are your, when you think back to your last season with the high school team here and then now going into this, are there any specific games that you've reflected on that you think are your favorite game or most memorable? And it doesn't have to be for a goal or a win, and just anything.
I think the teacher night's pretty special to be able to have all our teachers there that we're showing our support and how much they've supported us. They've brought us a long way, and it's just nice to see them in the stands supporting us at that game. Yeah,
that's a good one. They wear the jerseys and everything, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about the jersey. I know you texted us over the weekend that you got number 14 for, what do you call it, team achievement jersey? Is that what you said? Tell us about those jerseys and what those represent.
So those jerseys, they're all different numbers from either state runner-up, states, regionals. They all have a specific time, year that something was accomplished. And I think it's big that we get one for this year.
Yeah, the a 26 on there. Yeah. So when me and Griff first saw them, I don't know, they come out when you were in high school, freshman year, sophomore year, somewhere.
Yeah,
they're those gray ones. I know the first time we saw them in person was a couple years ago. We had the 10-year reunion for our state championship in 14, and they were wearing those jerseys and everything. I think that's it's a cool thing. There's so much history, so to honor it with those jersey numbers is pretty cool. Do you have anyone when someone asks you who rivals of Trenton hockey are? Who do you think of off the top of your head?
Gabriel Richard for sure.
Okay. Want to elaborate on any of your experiences with that program?
Well, JV, we always had a good battle. I think both the games I played in, both ended with fights at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Varsity, it's always just downriver, the two main powerhouses downriver, and you're just battling to see who's the best.
Sure. Score any big goals against them ever in your
Against
career?
the red line.
There you go.
Well, explain that. What happened?
Instead of dumping the puck, rimming it like we have all game, I shot it on net. Goalie wasn't expecting it, went to the corner, and it went in.
Give it a chance.
So to tell you from the coach's perspective, who's standing a few feet away from you when that occurs, we're down last year, and by we, I mean with Gabriel Richard last year, here at Trenton. It's what, 3-1 you guys are winning? 3-1. Probably 8 minutes left in the third, maybe?
Right around there.
GR's getting momentum, though. At that point, I was like, GR's going to score. I was like, this is going to be a game. And then...
Yeah, I thought we had the second one come in there, and then you crossed the red line, and exactly what you just said. You just shoot it right on net. I think it caught our goalie off guard because he was expecting a rim or a dump typically, and just went in. And I remember you just standing there. You went both arms straight up in the air, right? Yeah, right in front of our bench. That was a dagger.
I think you caught yourself off guard a little bit too.
Oh, for sure. I wasn't expecting that to go in.
Yeah, that was nice. This year we play first week of January, right after Christmas break. We when we were scheduling that game, we specifically got it on a Saturday around Christmas and at 6, so that it can be an event. Yeah. People from both schools can come, and people that are home for a break can come and all that. So that'll be good.
Was that your biggest high school goal, or did you score any other goals last year?
I think that would be my biggest
That's
goal.
your biggest one. What's the biggest? Is that the biggest goal you've ever scored?
I don't know. I had the same type of deal in the district finals when you were coaching.
So explain that one.
It was basically the same exact thing. Just dumped it in, turned to the bench, was getting a change, and everybody's going crazy. I looked back, it was in the net. I had no clue I even scored.
That was the game-winning goal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was against our rival at the time as well in district final, and I think it was at the time. I think it was 2-0 or 2-1.
Yeah.
He dumped it in, and I remember just sitting there, and we all had our own personal experience. I'm like, oh my gosh, we might actually win now. We got off a dumping.
Is that Motor City?
Oh no, yeah, no, that was the tie. Was it the winner?
No, tying. Because
then Cole scored in overtime. Yeah.
Oh, that was the Bantam A one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that made it 3-1, and then they tie it 3-3, and then we won 4-3.
Yeah.
What a memory.
What other games? Do you have any other games? I know, obviously Trenton plays one of the best schedules in the state every year in the MIHL. Any other games that stick out to you from last season or programs that you've played against?
I think Brother Rice does stick out, our losing game, because we all like to blame it on the refs. But I think the biggest thing, we put ourselves in that situation. If we don't have that one goal where we have to score at the end of the game, then it's not that situation.
What happened in the playoffs?
Yeah.
So what was set the scene? What was going on?
So we had about 30 seconds left. We were down 3-2.
This is state quarterfinal for those that aren't aware.
We tied it up, but the goal was waved off, and we lost that game. And everybody wanted to blame the refs, but we kind of put ourselves there.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I think I remember the clip now when something like that's so obvious. It's like, yeah, we shouldn't have been in that position. Could have went our way. It's kind of silly that I didn't. It's like, but unfortunately, I'm sure. I mean, you can go back and find calls and everything. But yeah, that one hurt. I remember for sure. You
have any learning lesson you think you can take from that for this year, for you and for the other guys that are coming back? Are you just you think the team will just be more resilient to not put yourself in that position? What are you thinking about for this year?
Yeah, I think we're always going to have that in the back of our head, and just knowing that we let 2 up quick. We got to just stay focused on what the goal is and not try to get ahead of ourselves and look towards the next game.
Well, every year you either take away what you learned and use it as a positive or a negative, and I think that having the leadership that your team does have this year, you really got. I mean, the younger guys, or I guess I shouldn't say younger. A lot of the guys that weren't on the team last year, they don't have that anger that you guys all have fueled. So you guys gotta. They're never going to know what you went through, but you can show them what you feel and make sure this doesn't happen again. And it's on you guys to provide that experience for them to hey, we got to use this to our positive and not let this happen again. It's also on them to be willing to accept that and be like, yeah, I wasn't here, but I'm not letting this happen again. So
yeah,
I think that's one of the biggest things with a program like Trenton, who's their goal every single year is to win a state championship. You have guys on your years that were before you and guys that will come after you, and it's your job to, just like it says in the locker room, to create those footprints for others to follow and learn those lessons. My freshman year, I wasn't on the team. I didn't make the team, but my freshman year, the Trenton team, they were going for their 4-peat, and they lost in the first round to Wyandotte, who ended up going to win states that year. in that game, again, I wasn't on the team, but there was a ton of controversy after that game because according to all the Trenton players, the puck went out, hit the netting, stayed in, and then Wyandotte scored on it. And so in their eyes, they got screwed. Like Wyandotte shouldn't have scored. And, who knows? Maybe that's not a goal and that play's changed and then Trenton wins that and they go on and win the whole state championship 4 in a row and everything's different. But also, like, that's not how it happened. So you have those lessons you have to learn.
Yeah.
And every year, my sophomore year, it's the same thing, more lessons. My junior year, it's even bigger lessons. My junior year, our whole team wanted the whole senior class to get a locker room the moment we lost our regional final because we were sick of their stuff. They weren't bought in and they weren't ready to go. And sure enough, right when that game ends, we all sit there, all the guys that were going to be returning next year, and we talk about the plan for that year. So I think for you guys, like, you have such a strong senior class. And then returning juniors and so on, that you guys take what you experienced with that loss last year and try to learn from it and just let that fuel you for this year, because then you can accomplish whatever.
Yeah.
So we've already touched on, kind of some of the cool parts about playing high school hockey and playing specifically for Trenton High School. Me and Griff, we grow up from the day we're born, basically, coming to every Trenton home game. I think I was a week old, and Griff was born in September, so he was like 2 months old. I was born in February, so I was like a week old. Touch on your experiences of how you end up at this point in your career. You're 18 years old. You're playing high school hockey for Trenton. Reflect on some of those memories from your early days of how you wanted to play for this program someday.
Yeah, so I was playing mini mites, or it might have been mites, and we were all at one of the games. And then after one of the games, like, the atmosphere is just crazy. Like, you just want to be there at some point in your life. After one of the games, Griff actually brought us all into the locker room. We were all in the locker room, and we were all ecstatic. Just
as a player,
everything.
I was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking at everything and seeing it all, it just makes you want to be there.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
How old do you think you were in that? Were you on TJT, obviously, before he was coaching? Maybe you said mini mite, did you say?
There's a picture of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, like, had practice, just getting out of practice or something. So that was cool, coming in and seeing the locker room, seeing all the cool guys.
Makes you want to be there.
And thought, okay, maybe one day I want to do this.
Yeah.
So how do you think that will impact you when you're now that cool player with young guys that are out to the locker room and today? Do you ever try to interact with those players?
Yeah, for sure. You always got to interact with them, make them feel you're the big guy there. They look at you like you're an NHL player. You just got to make them feel noticed and make them want to be there too.
Me and Griff can tell stories and stories and stories about our experiences. The big one I remember the most is in 2004. So you weren't even born yet.
Yeah.
They win the state championship in 2004. But that weekend we were going out of town for my own tournament as a player, and I was 8 at that time. Griff was like 5, and we were going out of town. So our parents got us out of school early. We made a sign. It said, like, let's go Trojans, with all the players' names and numbers on it. We brought it up to the rink. We stood at the practice while they finished. At this point, they were getting ready for the state semi. We gave them the sign, and they brought us in the locker room. And at this point, it was like the coolest thing we had ever done in our lives. Then from there, they had this sign up in the locker room. They showed in the highlight video. They were like tapping it when they went out on the ice. So that's super cool.
You just never know how much of an impact you have. And, like, as someone who cares about hockey, as someone who cares about Trenton hockey like you do, 10 years from now, when you're our age, you're going to look back and you're not maybe one of the kids that you bring into the locker room this year to show them the locker room and show them all the cool signs and everything. He might be the captain one day, and then he'll remember, hey, I remember Ethan Gilbert brought me into here. So, it sets that foundation that, like, hey, here's the standard that I got to make sure that I set for the future players.
Yeah, for sure.
Me and Andrew and everyone that we talked to, that we played with, we all still scoreboard watch. We care about how the team's doing. So, if that, I'm assuming you will. So, maybe a guy that you said, hey, good luck today, to a random guy that you don't know anything about him, but hey, good luck. You're wearing Trenton hockey. That means a lot to them.
Yeah.
That's the cycle. That's why it's been since, 1976 first state championship. Every year there's another wave of guys that was a mini mite, just like you just mentioned. I was 8 when I tell that story. Griff was 5 mini mite at that age probably, and we were mini mites and beginners. And we were coming to games before we even touched the ice for ourselves. Yeah. So that's that cycle that never ends. So I encourage you and all your teammates to just embrace those young kids, because those kids, exactly like you said, like those kids are you just 10 years later, you know, and they'll be sitting in the same spot as you. Maybe we'll have them on our podcast someday, or you'll be having them on your podcast someday. So obviously you've touched on a couple of those games, you know, like your favorite games. You mentioned GR is a big game every year with that rivalry. You've got Brother Ice on there. What about like CC, Stevenson, Heartland? Are those teams that feel like extra significant for you?
Yeah, for sure. Especially the Stevenson game. It's always a battle between us. It's been a battle for a while now. And that's a huge game. CC is always the game where you want to end their undefeated season usually, which is fun to have. And it's nice to have the opportunity to try to do it. And I think this year we could have a chance to do it.
This year, I mean, it rotates every year. You guys home or away this year? Do you know?
I believe we're home this year. Yeah,
home. Okay. When Griff and I played, we were still playing CC twice a year. It was normally twice a year. What was your success of CC? Like, did you play your senior year once or twice against them?
Twice, yeah. Went 1-1 my sophomore year, and then 0-2 junior and senior year, but lost in overtime twice to them. So
it sounds like I was setting them up for a negative. I wasn't. I didn't know if they played twice or once senior year. I
hate CC. CC is my least favorite team of all time. As a Trenton player, I look at that blue and I want to throw up on it, because my throw probably looks better than that blue.
Yeah.
So
you got to ruin it. The Shamrocks, you got to ruin it. You got to have the pride. And again, those are little things like you go talk to anyone in the community that played for the team or was around the team or whatever. Stevenson, like you say Stevenson and they go back. Stevenson ended my season, man. Like my junior year, they ended me. Griff.
Ended my season twice.
Like, you know, there's stuff that goes into this. Now, when we went in 14, we on their season, you know, so it's like that's why there's the history between it. You know, CC, when we play CC, I was 3-3 against CC. My sophomore year was the first team that beat them twice in one season, that swept them since 1996.
Humble brag.
And that was back in 2012. Yes, humble brag. But the flip side of that was my junior year. I was on the first Trenton team ever that got mercied, and we got mercied by CC. So it's like there's so much history that goes into all that stuff. So just like when you're playing those games and in it, you know, they mean extra because those moments before.
Yeah.
So to build off that, I mean, I think that's one of the coolest things about high school hockey is that, you know, there's these traditions, there's these rivalries, there's these things. If I were to ask you, Ethan and we had a guy coming into high school and he said, I really don't know if I want to play high school hockey or pursue a AAA route. And you, I'm assuming, would suggest to go play high school hockey. You've had a good experience, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
What are some things that you would tell us, say, hey, this is why, not talking bad about AAA, but why is high school your choice?
I mean, you're spending 9 hours a day with some of the guys. You're in classes with them. You're in school with them. And, like, you just build the bonds that you don't build at AAA. You're going to team dinners before every game. It's just you're with the guys a whole lot more than you'd think.
And what about, like, the school pride? It's got to be pretty cool showing up to school and, you know, knowing, like, I'm representing this school too, right?
Yeah, especially on game days. All the teachers, everybody's saying good luck. Everybody's rooting for you. And AAA, you don't get to walk around with your jersey on out in public.
Pretty cool. Have some student sections and, you know, the different environments that you go into and everything. What's something that you think high school hockey could improve on? Like, what's something that you're like, you know what, I really like high school hockey. I wish this happened. Is there anything that stands out?
Definitely the game count. They could probably sneak in a couple more games. I know we got 2 more games this season, but definitely more in the future.
It's a really good answer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. They went from 25 to 27. It's really good because that's been the issue for forever. I mean, if you rewind even further, it used to be less than that. I mean, if you think about the 96 Trenton team, they were 28-0, and that was, you know, probably 6 playoff games. Maybe it was 5, but if that's the case, it's 22 or 23 regular season. So the game count's always a thing. I think that's huge. Is like the high school versus AAA route. You know, like guys that I remember, there was guys in school, like there was a couple guys that were 2 years older than me, and in all different ages, but 2 years older that stick out. That one of them got called up to play in the USHL when he was a junior in high school. So I mean, this guy was like He was legit. Like he's on pace to go play Division I in 2 years. He's on pace to be an NHL draft pick conversations in a few years. And everyone thought he was like a bad player because no one in the school knew who he was. As a player, they just knew he didn't play for the high school team. Yeah. So it's like, all right, well, he must not be that good. And it's like, no, like he's a different level. Like he's NHL bound type stuff. So that's all those things. The school pride, the community. I mean, that's probably my favorite thing about the high school hockey aspect. Do you have anything as far as like after high school that you've thought about that you want to do?
I'm not really decided what I want to do after high school yet.
You said earlier you're going through a whole different route as far as other classes you're taking. Like, are they college development classes?
Yeah,
or
I'm
like
taking cybersecurity.
Okay.
For 2 hours at Henry Ford right now.
Nice.
So it would be pretty cool to win this season, whether it's your last competitive season or not. Go to college, play hockey, but right now the thing is let's win a state championship, get ourselves a ring, huh?
Yep.
Oh, I have one. So just as a high school player, you just said like game count can be adjusted. One of my biggest things is that high school hockey should not end in ties at any point in the season. Obviously, in playoffs, it goes to the 8-minute overtime, and it just keeps doing that until it's done. In the regular season, there's rules, whether it's a league game or a conference game or a showcase game, on what you can do. In your perfect scenario, what happens at the end of a regular season game whenever the game is tied?
Yeah, I think we should do 2 overtimes and then a shootout. I agree. There shouldn't be any ties at the end of any games.
5-on-5, 4-on-4,
4-on-4.
4-on-4,
Yeah.
2 4-on-4s.
Yep.
My answer would be 5-minute, 3-on-3. That's all you're gonna need.
Yeah.
And, you follow the NHL. They've made some decisions lately in the last few years. And moving to the 3-on-3, perfect. More ice, more ways to play. I think that settles the game. And if you absolutely need to, you go to a shootout here too. But 3-on-3 high school hockey, do it. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be so much better. I can't stand ties. I think even like, not to go off on a whole thing, but like NFL, I can't stand their overtime rules. It's better now, but it sucks because not both teams have the whole thing. It can't go up and down. Like we went to Virginia Tech for a college football game last week, and we try to go to a new spot every year, every fall. And that game that went to 2 overtimes. Both teams have the same amount of possessions, and obviously hockey would be a little different. You can't just line up a guy at center ice and go play 3-on-3, and then at the whistle the next team gets it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I would love to see a continuous overtime and then into a shootout or something where at the end of the night you won or you lost. I'm just tired of the ties.
Well, because you, like we said, high school hockey, if you had 100 games, it wouldn't matter. But like you guys are looking forward to the GR game, right? It kills me knowing that game could end in a tie in a few months here. That's not okay. We need to have bragging rights. We need to know who won this year,
Exactly.
So yeah, we need the game count and the ties. Get those figured out here.
The game that bothers me the most, one of the games that bothers me the most from my playing career in high school hockey was Orchard Lake St. Mary's. My senior year, it was a 2-2 tie, and it's our one tie that season. It drives me nuts always thinking about it.
What a battle.
Yeah, it was a great game. They were a solid team, but that's an example where it's like we want to leave knowing. I would rather know that I lost in overtime and just know that it was decided instead of just a tie. So
yeah,
I was just curious on that from a player's perspective currently. Last couple here. My mom encouraged us to ask about superstitions and pregame routines because that is something that me and Griff have dealt with all throughout our lives, is being too superstitious and being too focused on the routine. Do you have any pregame routines?
Yeah, I do. So I go to school. We usually don't play till later, so I'll go home, rest up a little bit, and then on my way to the rink, I always get a Jimmy John's sub.
Same order every time? What do you get?
Slim 2. It's just turkey and cheese.
Okay. You get chips, banana,
Nope,
apple, anything? Okay.
Just a sub. Grab my water at the rink, tape my stick, and then Durbin and I actually, last year our color was purple, so we get purple Skittles and a purple energy drink before every single game. We never missed it. And we have a couple bumps we do during warm-ups at a specific time, and then a handshake right before the game.
There you go. Do you guys get your own Skittles and Gatorade, or do you share it?
So we usually swap who buys what each week, so it'll buy 2 of something each week.
I love it.
Is that little weird stuff?
Did you plan it? Or did you guys
It kind of just happened the first game, and then after that, we just did it every game. And
you have to verbalize and say we were doing it game 2, or you just were like, all right, let's do it?
We just did it.
I love that. That's the best about hockey superstitions.
Yeah.
As long as you make them good.
Yeah.
Don't be like, if it doesn't happen, you're now messed up for the game, you know?
Yeah. Well, even like little, I used to buy, what was it, watermelon Sour Patch Kids before every game, and you'd walk in wondering why I'm eating them.
Griff, before our state championship, had to get a Subway sub or whatever.
Yeah, I had, my routine was to eat a sub before every game, eat it the exact same way. And the state championship's at what, 10 or 11?
Yeah.
So I was eating it, and I hated the sandwich so much because I had it, 31 times, but I had to keep eating it. So I remember I was eating it, and this is actually really gross, but we were eating it, and I threw up because it was so disgusting. But I had to go finish it because I'm like, we have to do this.
Yeah.
And I remember Heartland scored early in the state championship, and I'm like, it's because I didn't finish my sub. And it's like, it's Griff. You gotta chill out a little bit.
So that's the lesson there. Don't let it drive you nuts.
Yeah.
Well, last year here, any specific people in your life you want to give a shout out to? Teammates, parents, coaches, anyone that's gotten you to where you are today?
I mean, my parents, they've gotten me everywhere for every game, every practice, raised me as a person, just makes me happy, makes me really realize how much they mean to me. And then honestly, you two guys too. Coached me from a young age, really made me grow into my loud voice after you guys' coaching.
You provide the tools, I guess, but you're the one who had to do all the work. So,
yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Ethan. Thanks for joining us today. We wish you the best of luck this season. We'll be cheering you on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.